What's up, everybody? My name is Jerry, and you're watching Rusty Notes Productions. Welcome back. It's been a long time coming, but we are finally doing another mixing tutorial or mixing walkthrough or whatever. Today we're taking a look at Loser by We Are Lost. So that's what we are mixing today. I don't think we will be able to do the whole mix in one sitting, so we might need to make this into multiple videos. We'll see. I picked this song online on a site called Mix Secret, I think. Cambridge-mt.com, where you can download multitracks and learn a mix. And I picked this song because it has DI tracks. So we're going to reamp the DIs with the Kemper. And it also has real drums. I think I haven't taken a look at it in detail, but I think so. And we are going to trigger them using maybe Steven Slate and maybe Get Good Drums. We'll see. Let's just jump into the project and see what we are dealing with here. So let's just grab a listen and see what it sounds like. Super heavy track. Well, it doesn't sound like much at the moment, but we will get there. First off, I think we have to convert the DI tracks, which sounds like this now. We need to reamp that using the Kemper. So what we're going to do here is we will copy, let's see, we have electric guitar 2 DI, electric guitar 2 DT. I guess that's double track DI. Yeah, so these are one type of guitar, and that is, so I guess left right on these. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this track and arm that, because we're going to use the Kemper to reamp those. So first off, let me put my sound card in mixer bypass, and we're going to take this electric guitar and we're going to solo this track, and we're going to output this track to the reamp, and let's sure we are monitoring it, and let's see if we can do something here. Let's just loop this section. Find a heavy part here. Okay, is this the most heaviest part? Yeah, kind of like that part. So what I need to do, which you can see, I need to make sure that the input signal into my Kemper is correct before we do anything else. So I'm gonna do that first. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to pick tone for this. So let's just loop this, and let's go into the rig pack and choose a tone that we like. And I think something by Cornef might work. So I have the Dan Cornef Kemper pack here. So let's just take a look. Okay, I kind of like that guitar sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reamp the whole track. So it's going to take a while. I'm going to reamp this. And I might use another profile for the other side. But we'll do this first. So it's going to take the whole song. So let's just sit back and relax. And we can fast forward this. There we go. That's the first guitar. I'm not too sure about the tone, but we'll go for it right now. So we can delete the DI text for that and just make this another color so we know that this is the DI. So we're going to do the same thing for this track, which I guess it's the other side, the recording. So we're going to do like this, mute this one, smack, take this, I'll put it to reamp, make sure that it works. Yep, so we're going to loop the same part and pick another profile for it. I think that's good enough. So we're going to do the same thing here. Just going to run through the whole damn song. We'll be back as soon as possible. And there we go. So now we have two guitar tracks. We can pan them. We're gonna take out the DI from this as well. So let's call this left. Let's call this right. And we're gonna pan them 100% left and right for now. We'll see what we can do later on. So we do this as well. So I made a DI folder, so maybe we should make another folder that's not DI. So we can call these, let's pack them in a folder and call them rhythm. And let's drag that outside of DI. There you go. So now we have the rhythm tracks and they sound together like this. They sound quite cool, actually. These are the Dan Corneff profiles from SPL, I think. I know they make presets for VSTs and stuff, and Kemper packs. And STL tone, sorry, not SPL, STL. So we're going to use that. We also need to get a bass tone. And I think that we're going to use, let's see where we have bass. We have bass here. Let's see how that sounds. Why is there no, oh, there shouldn't be reamp. Very standard DI stuff. So I'm gonna do, let's copy this, send this out to the Kemper as well. And let's pick a bass preamp for this. We have some bass preamps as well, so let's find those. I don't really like those, so we're gonna check the bass profiles that Kemper provides. They have a bass pack somewhere, Kemper bass profiles. Let's see what we can find here. This is a really good grit profile, B7K. It's based on the dark glass, I guess, or dark shade B7K, which is a great preamp for bass. So we're going to use that and reamp that for the bass guitar, and we're also going to pick a clean amp. So we're going to have the DI just for the low end, and we're going to have the dark glass as the grit. So we can actually name this grit. I'm going to have another one for the clean amp. So let's profile this as well. Alright, we have the grit track, so let's find a good clean bass tone and do the same thing again. I like this tone. Remember, we don't really need heavy low end since we're gonna get the low end from the clean tone anyway. So we just want the mids and the high end. I kind of like the sound of this, so we're just gonna go with it. So we're gonna reamp it one more time, and that's it for the reamp. For now, okay, we have we have more guitar tracks to reamp. Well, let's stick to it. And there we go. Final bass track done. So now we have 3 different kinds. We have the normal DI one. I don't know if this is a DI, but it actually sounds like a DI, so we're gonna go with the DI. Can you just normalize it? Could be a bad amp, but I don't think it is. We have the grit track. And we have the clean amp, so we're gonna name this clean amp just to separate them. A bit overpower, but we're going to filter that later on. Let's move on. What else do we have that we need to clean up? So that's actually the first step. Usually what I do first, I sort things into color and folders. I set up my buses. I reamp tracks that needs to be reamped, and in most cases you actually get DI tracks, so you can reamp stuff. And clean up and cut up pieces you don't really want. The next thing I want to do, I know we have some more DI guitars to get through, but I want to leave them right now. I want to take a look at the drums. I think these are real drums. They sound like real drums, but I don't think they're powerful and well recorded enough. So I'm going to show you a trick how you can use samples easily with real drums without using Slate Trigger, Trigger 2, or any other software like that, like what is it, Drumagog, I think. So there's the thing at least you can do in Studio One that we're going to take a look at. So let's start with a kick drum. It looks like it's pretty clean. Let me normalize it so we get a little bit more volume. Okay, we have a small, we have a snare drum in there. So what we're going to do is, let's see if we can make this without or if we should gate it first. No, we can try the quick way first. So what I tend to do is I right click and I use volume audio processing, edit in melodyne. There we go. What you wanted to do is to ignore this since, oh, okay, there's an update, but no. Melodyne comes free with Studio One 5. If you have, I don't know if you need a producer or professional version. What version do I have? Professional, which is the highest one. And well, it's included in some of the versions, so don't call me on which one. You need to check that out for yourself. So you open the kick track in Melodyne, highlight everything, and make sure you pick the algorithm to percussive. We need to redetect it because the standard one on my end is melodic. So we get all these hits, and what this actually does for us, it's that it's creating a midi. Well, it's not creating a midi, it can be transferred into midi. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import, let's call it midi drums 1, and we need an instrument track. And all I'm going to do now is hold in Alt or Option on Mac and drag the kick track to the new instrument track, which is a MIDI track. Boop. And what that did is that it created MIDI notes for every sample, kick hit or whatever. So what I'm going to do now, just for the sake of it right now, I'm going to pick Steven Slate 5, drag it to that MIDI drums track, a sample kick from something. Let's pick this just for now. So all we need to do now is highlight these, and I know for a fact that they will be on a random note when you drag it on from Melodyne, but that's fine. So I know that the kick in Steven Slate is on C1, so we can just place it there and raise the velocity a tiny bit, and now we have a replaced kick. That's the normal kick underneath it. And with the sample one. And I think that it might have picked up the snare drum, so we can take care of that later on. What you can do is actually you can gate this track first and export it to a new audio track with the gated version, so you don't have the snare. But that's too much work for us now. So we're just going to do this and manually edit the MIDI file later, because we can actually see the snare hit here, so we can just take that out. So what I'm going to do here, just to make it easier, is to highlight everything, do action, length, and set all to 16 notes, just so it cleans up a tiny bit. But now we have a kick track from the kick sample. And we're going to do the same thing for the snare. We only need to do this once though, since we have snare up and down, which is, I guess, snare top and bottom. So let's see how this sounds, and let's just harmonize this so we get a bit more volume. Okay, those snare flams will be an issue, but we have to manually fix that later. If we use GGD, they actually have a sample for that, for flams. I think Steven Slate has it as well, so we can use it. There's much more bleed in the snare track, as we can see, but it has such a high spike, so it will be pretty easy to tell. So just edit in Melodyne, same thing as before. Highlight this and choose algorithm and percussive. Redetect. Takes a few seconds, depending on how fast your PC is. And now we have all the snare hits, including some cymbals, I guess. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to hold down Alt on PC or Option on Mac. Just drag this to the MIDI track. And we now have The snares over here as well. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to highlight this, length set all to 16 notes. Here we can actually see, you see the higher velocities are the snare hits, and the lower velocities are, I guess, the cymbals or some other kind of stuff. So what we can do to make it easier is that, let's see, the lowest peaks on the higher ones are kind of roughly there, which is 59 velocity. So what you can do in Studio One, that I guess you can do in other DAWs as well. If you go to Action, and if you click on Select Notes, we're gonna use here select notes in a range of velocity, and we just want to select everything above 59 velocity, or yeah, okay, let's do 55 maybe, see if that works. So what that did is that it only selected the real snare hits, as you can see here, and it didn't select the bleed hi-hats or kick sample or whatever that was. But I actually did it the wrong way, and we need to do it the other way around. So we're going to do select and only select stuff below 50. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we need to lower this because we got some, what I guess is snare hits. So we need to take that down just a tiny bit. Select below 40. Let's see if that works. Can that work? Okay, so these might actually be snare hits, but we can easily put them in if we want to. Or, okay, let's go down a tiny bit more. Let's see, 35. There we go. And all we can do now is press delete. And all we are left with are what I think is the real snare hits. So let's just bring these up a tiny bit. And I know for a fact that snare hits on Steven Slate is on D1, or if you want to do the rim shot, I think it's on E1. But let's do D1. And let's put in a snare sample. Yes, the placement. I kind of like the this one from the 5.5 library. So now we should have kick and snare. And we do. I actually think we should do the same trick here with the kick. So we should have all these yellow ones should be something that isn't a kick hit. So let's do select notes. There we go. Let's just delete these. That sounds correct. Let's import snare track as well. See if that corresponds to the drums here. Okay, cool. We can actually do the same thing with the toms. We have two toms. The overheads is pretty much impossible to replace, so we're not going to even try it. But the toms we can surely do. So let's do the tom 1 first. Do the same thing here, edit the melodyne. There we go. I actually like that. Call this clean, just so I know what it is. So we can clean it up before we import it to the MIDI drums. So let's clean this up, highlight everything, action, length, set all to 16 notes. Raise it a tiny bit. And I think that only these top ones, these top hits are actually actual hits. So let's select everything that isn't up there. I think that's all, and delete. There we go. And let's drag this bad boy up to MIDI drums. And let's import some toms here as well. I like the Ludwig ones the best. So let's grab all these 4 toms. I know it only said tom 1 and tom 2, but anyway. So let's just press G. And let's find where the toms are. Let's pick that for the first rack. Perfect. Let's grab the tom 2. There you are. Edit with melodyne. Same thing here again. You can basically wake me up in my sleep and ask me about this by now. Let's do the same thing here. Length, set all to 16 notes. Raise this. And do we have any tom hit in the beginning of the song? We actually do here, I think. Yeah, we do. Okay. So we have a tom hit in the beginning. So every green stuff here is not a tom hit. Select notes and let's grab there maybe. Still feels like there's too much. Let's mute those guitars for now. I want to listen to the drums. There should be double hits here though. We can just add them by ourselves. Okay, let's see if that actually works. Drag that up there. Comp everything and place these on somewhere there. What is this note? Nothing, okay. Okay, cool. Can now delete this since we are done with that. So now we have MIDI drums and we have the real kit as well. What we can do is use GGD. Let's bring that thing in as well. And I think for this type of music, modern and massive could fit really well. So let's just copy this from the Slate one. Let's just solo this. And we need to change the drum mapping here because it's not the same as Slate. Wait, we need to have the kick on C1. That's correct. Let's just fix the toms. That's what I usually do, is just bring those up. And we know that this was the first tom. This was the second. There we go. Okay, let's just pick the kit. We know that we don't need cymbals, so we can take those out. We only need kick and snare, so let's see what kind of snare we want. I like this snare. Let's find a kick we want to. I like that. And the toms, we need to change those as well. I actually like the Yamaha ones. Those are my favorites, so let's pick those. And there we go. Now we have a complete, can call this GGD for now. There might be some phase issues between the samples, but we will take care of that later on as well. Don't worry. And let's listen to the whole kit. And I think that's all the preparation we have to do today. And I think that's pretty much it. And we're going to cut the video here for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions. And we will pick up soon and start mixing this. I know we need to reamp more guitar tracks, and I think I might do that behind the scenes. So next day when we come back, we can actually start mixing and tweaking some stuff. So thank you so much for watching. See you next time.